Welcome to the back pew. Well, we're here in the midst of the celebration of Christmas. You know, it runs for 12 days from December 25 through the Epiphany on January 6th. And this year, on social media, there has been a lot of conversation about keeping Christ in Christmas. I have found that to be rather interesting. You see, it comes also with the idea that somebody has declared war on Christmas. So there's this flurry of conversation. Yet what does it mean to keep Christ in Christmas? That's one that we may not like the answer to. I think for some that we've come to a point that we've sanitized Christmas to a point that it's really Christmas when we do certain traditions, and we see the baby Jesus as a beautiful medieval Italian-formed baby in a creche. The real story is not like that. The real story of Christmas is one of epic separation and brokenness and power. Jesus is born as a homeless child, laid in a dirty feed trough. Why? Because a powerful politician has declared a census. On December 31st and January 1st, we're going to hear readings of the gospel from the second chapter of Matthew. And there we hear another angle on this Christmas story. Yes, the angels have sung, the shepherds have come, but now Herod finds out, and Herod is angry and terrified, and he does what tyrants do. He raged. Angels again are involved, telling the Magi to go home by a different route and forewarning Joseph, take the child and run. So now the Christmas story includes that Jesus is a refugee in a foreign land. Can't you imagine what those people in Egypt were saying? Oh Lord, more of these people who are not like us. They have different traditions. They look different than us. They dress differently. And whose job is that Joseph going to take? You get the idea. This real Christmas story could be lived out in our own time with deep, deep meaning. Indeed, the real Christmas story is the story of God entering into our world with love and grace and peace, and the world not being very welcoming of it. The world which is consumed with power, with status, with money, with success. This world doesn't like it much at all. And so we see in the ancient time that it was played out, and even in our own time. The call that comes through Christmas is for you and me to keep Christ in Christmas by living as Christ for the world. That means that we take on being God's love and compassion and peace and presence for our neighbors. That's what keeping Christ in Christmas looks like. Again, it's not very convenient, and it may not be what we think it is. That's what we're going to talk about this coming weekend at First Lutheran Church. Now, a reminder, on December 31st, we're having a wonderful Saturday service, 5:30 p.m. in the main sanctuary. We're going to have some special things since it's New Year's Eve. And we're going to have a little party afterward, and we want you to be part of it. Now, this means if you are thinking you may not show up at church on Sunday because it is January 1st, you may have been up late, or you want to be able to watch the football games or the parades, show up on Saturday. We'll be here, and it's going to be fun. I hope that your year rounds out with the depth of God's love that God has for you, and that your new year will be blessed with God's presence, walking alongside you, in you, with you, constantly. If the back pew has been meaningful to you, please pass it along. I hope that others can benefit from it. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.